Hey, hey, can you hear me okay? Good to see you again, of course. And for this one, I'm feeling a little experimental. There's going to be a bit of 3D floor stuff going on. Okay, good. Perfect. Yeah, I always gotta check when I first start off here, because I wouldn't want to be talking to nobody for a while here and only figure it out at the end, you know? But, no, it's good, it's good. So, I'm just trying to... Like, I've kind of got a 3D floor thing going on. I got an underpass. I've got a hole that comes down from the top. I've got a choke point here. Probably gonna put a power up here of some kind. And, yeah, so it's a little different from the other one, but it should still turn out interestingly, I hope. Basically, I'm just trying to see what I can get away with 3D floor-wise this first section here. And then I'm going to try to improve the flow after that. Because right now it's a little bit too steep for my liking. But the more I mess around with it, I'm sure I'll figure it out. So what I was thinking was I was going to put a path right here that comes out of this red wall here and heads up here to the topmost point. Yeah, that's not too far off, Anthony. Basically, I've got an idea roughly, but I can't really fully conceptualize it until I start getting into it. Like I kind of know what I want to work with. I just don't know exactly what the layout's going to be until I get to it. If that makes sense. Like I have certain techniques that I follow each time in terms of my geometry, which kind of gives things a certain look, but I'm not really sure what I'm doing design-wise till I get right into it, usually. And I started this probably about 15 minutes ago, so I'm already off to a decent start, I think. Right now I'm just trying to smooth out certain areas so they look a little bit more palatable and aren't so sharp looking. This right here is probably going to be sky, I imagine. It might not stay sky, but that's what it's going to be right now at least. I think a skylight here would be nice, actually. Yeah, it can be hard to keep that kind of focus as you go along. Like we were talking about earlier, you can lose that image in your head a little bit if you're not careful. Which I find it tricky to nail myself down to a certain idea or not right away. Like this one is the 5th episode, so I kind of know what the actual textures are in this case. Like there's a bit of a corrupted base thing going on. There's some hellish stuff, and there's some tech stuff. So I was thinking some kind of base that has some kind of fleshy growth inside of it or something. You know, Doom stuff. But how that'll actually end up conceptualizing is a map I'm not entirely sure yet. So far, things are making sense, at least, which is good. I'm going to widen this hallway a little bit, just so I can drop that path easier. Nah, it's a bit too thin. I'm going to have to make that wider here. There we go. That will work. Okay. So yeah, the idea is come from here, come out here. Yeah, a lot of map designing is intuitive. I do agree with you on that front. It's a lot more, I don't know, feeling things out than actually concretely thinking about it, if that makes sense. That's at least what I find. Oh, I hate when I accidentally press right click and lose everything when I'm drawing something out. Drives me nuts. This should work this time, though. There we go. Yes, sometimes I just gotta be patient, not try to rush things as quickly as I am sometimes. Easier said than done, though. Okay, so we've got something that comes out here, at least now. I'm going to have to get rid of this tag, because it's going to cause me nothing but trouble if I don't. Okay. I'm going to build a wall here, essentially, and then I'm going to slope up to it from the northern hallway, from here. That's weird. That should technically be drawn there, but it's not showing up on the, I've never seen that before. Weird. Oh, I see. I wasn't fully on the line. Okay, so that should work now. There we go. Yeah, because I had curved this area here, and I wasn't fully on the grid when I was trying to connect there, so it's all good. Anyway. Oh no, you don't gotta apologize at all. I've only been up and running for like 30 minutes, and you've been here for 15 of them, so no worries at all. But yeah, I've heard that you're liking that game. I'll have to get I'll take a look at that sometime. I'm not too good at beat 'em ups, to be honest. I kind of get my ass kicked all the time. But if there's some kind of easy mode, I might be able to check it out. So now I'm going to delete these two vertices and then curve this into the top region, like this. So at least there's some kind of substance here now. A bit steep. I'm going to have to see if I can figure something out here. That's better. That'll work better. Oh, there is an easy mode. Okay. Yeah, I'm every game I play nowadays, it seems like, unless it's like a retro style FPS game, I tend to default to easy right away for the first playthrough at least. Because oftentimes more, well, you know, more often than not, I'm not the best at a lot of games, so I think it's better for me to just try to get through as much as I can without making things too miserable for myself, you know? Okay, I'm starting to see some stuff come together here now. Like I said, it's all about feeling things out as you go. Like, I feel like if I come out from this top point here, well, first I'm going to have to get rid of this tag because it's going to duplicate the 3D floor otherwise. So now there's like a drop down here. Now I'm not sure if that's what I want or not. I could put a power up right here to try to incentivize a drop down, but I just don't know how many people are going to want to fall down there, you know? It's a pretty vulnerable position, actually. So I could put a power up down there, but if it's just as accessible from this bottom slope here, which has no difficulty, people are just going to go this way every single time, because deathmatch is always the path of least resistance, and if you give someone an obstacle like that, they're just going to take the easy way each time, so it kind of makes it a little bit pointless. So I might put a bounce pad here or something, now that I think about it. But yeah, a bounce pad would actually work, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and try that here. Bounce pads are actually surprisingly easy to make. When I was first getting into UDMF, I was actually thinking it was going to be a bit more daunting of a task. But all you do is go to 9999 for the type, and then go here to action and search for Z thrust, which is right here. Put whatever number you want for force, or so I'll probably want to try 75, I imagine. No tag needed, and that's all. That's literally it. Now if I land on this sector here, I'll be propelled up here, most likely. So I think I'm going to test that after I just get this little cleaned up here. Yeah, see, this is another texture set with very limited amount of flats. So this could prove a little bit difficult to get into here, but I'm obviously going to give it a shot. So I'm going to put some particle fountains down so that it reminds me that this is actually a jump pad, because I'll forget otherwise. That should work. Turn the brightness up. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. Okay. So yeah, I just need a player start here, I imagine. Yeah, player 1, there we go. I would put a deathmatch start down, but I'm just not ready to play spawns yet, so I'll just go ahead with this. Save. Now when I open Xandro here, I think it's going to try to go full screen on me, so just bear with me if I don't see your chat for a second here, Anthony. Yeah, it decided to go full screen, so that's a little bit annoying. Oh, thanks, yeah. I don't really know how to... I have a hard time describing my style, per se. Like, obviously there's a lot of curves. Obviously I like slopes. I like 3D floors, such and such. But the actual process I find a little bit hard to describe. But I just go along and feel my way through it, you know? I don't actually think too hard about it, like I was telling you earlier. Okay, it looks like it's capturing a Xandronum screen, so that is good news. Okay, the jump pad works. Alright. Now the problem is, does it work from this angle? Well, it works okay. Like, people are probably going to have to curve their way around a little bit, but I don't know if that's too annoying or not, that's the thing. Yeah, see, I can see that being a bit annoying. Just one thing to drop down and just jump back up, but like, there's gotta be an incentive for that, or it's, or, you know, there's not really a point in doing it. What do you mean by that, Anthony? Like, just trying out a different way of going about making something? Or I'm not quite sure what you mean. What projects are you even working on right now? Because I know you've... haven't you more or less finished that Doom 3 project now? Yeah, this jump pad is terrible. I'm gonna have to axe that or move it somewhere. Oh, I have an idea. I'll put this here like this. And I'm going to attempt to draw out from here, and what I'll do is I'll make a wall right here, which sounds a little bit foolish at first, but bear with me here. Upon doing that, the jump pad actually makes some sense. So what I'll do is I'll curve this a bit, just a little tiny bit. Probably like that. And then I'm going to find a way to connect from here to here. And then I can force the player to actually hit the jump pad from the angle I'm wanting him to, at least, you know? Oh no, improvised or, you know, like freestyle's the way to go. It's just nice to be able to do whatever you want, you know? Without having to think too much about what you were planning previously, or just living up to your plan, or all that nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but, you know, I find it's a lot freer to just jump into things and just start throwing lines down instead of actually... I don't want to use the word overthinking, but that's what it is, kind of, is overthinking, in a way. Because I feel like people know roughly what they... People know what they know. So when you go into making a map in an intuitive fashion instead of a planned out fashion, like I feel like you just work from what you know, of course. So planning something out, you're almost trying to do something that you haven't done before, whereas with intuitive mapping, you're just taking techniques and strategies you already know and applying them in a different fashion, essentially. Like, I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but that's kind of a difference from what I see. Bear in mind, I have not slept for 40 hours now, and I am a bit tired. There we go. Oh, I think I messed it up a little bit. Dang it. I'll have to come out from here, I think. I hate when it deletes your line you just drew. It drives me insane. So I'm just gonna trace this whole thing just to be safe. I find when you do a full loop, it's much less likely to try to reset your drawing. There we go. Okay, looks like it worked this time. Oh yeah, you know, you're right about the sleep thing, but I'm not too worried really. Like when I'm in a productive mood, I kind of just keep at it until I can't. So yeah, eventually I will get tired, but like right now I'm actually doing all right. But no, it's probably not the best for you, but when I'm productive, and I just try to keep following that until I can't, because I don't know when the next time I'll be productive again, you know what I mean? But here, I've actually managed to make this setup so that the player has to hit it from the north direction now, which should make this a bit smoother, because you can still come down from this side if you wish, but yet if you're coming from this side, you're guaranteed to be able to get up each time now. So let's see here. I'm probably gonna make some kind of teleport situation going on. I don't know if I'm going to do it here or not. I'll have to see. Okay. So I feel like this is like head bump territory here. Yeah, I don't mind, you know, stopping and then starting up again a little bit later kind of thing, but I find it makes no difference to me if I'm tired or not, really. And typically I can knock a map out in like like you've seen earlier, you know, 3.5 hours usually, so shouldn't be too hard to stay focused for that long, you know what I mean? Okay, so here I'm going to drop 2 pillars because I think they will look good here. And I'm going to bring it down from the top to meet the bottom so that I can use 2 different textures on it instead of just one for a pillar, you know? I don't know if I'm liking this hallway setup here. Okay, so that looks a bit better. I know there's a weird UAC sign in this set that I kind of want to use, so I'm gonna make room for that now, I guess. Okay, that should work. Yeah, Anthony, oftentimes if I stop my momentum on a level and I just, you know, go and do something else or whatever, I find going back to it and actually trying to get back in that same train of thought is pretty difficult for me. So I try to just knock everything out as fast as I can, in the sense that, you know, I don't want to be doing separate sessions necessarily. Because it's just unlikely that I'll be able to keep the same idea I had in my head originally, you know? So these here, I'm trying to decide if I want them to be decorative or if I want them to actually be a little cubby that you can take cover in. Yeah, I think I'll keep it this way so that you can actually get some cover if you hug the wall a little bit. That should actually work nicely, I think. And I'm going to drop another light here. Well, there are 2 lights actually. Pardon me. No, those look good. I thought they were maybe too close together, but they actually look decent, I think, so. Now here, this whole area here is probably going to be underground because the sky is so high up. But for this region, I could probably raise the whole thing up a little bit and go with the sky. Go with making it a sky. So that might give me some more light, some more color going on here. Instead of just being a dingy hallway, you know? So this all looks fine. This whole region here, this looks like it could theoretically be outside, but when I come over here, you see how this roof is flush with where I'm going to be putting the sky. I might have to bring it up one more even. And then raise this. Nothing, because that's going to be sky. Suppose that will work. We'll see. Yeah, no, that works. That will work for us. So that's good. Okay. I kind of feel like there's something missing here. Perhaps I'll put a roof on just this region. That could fix my concern. See, I don't want this down too deep because then I'm treating it as a drop-off again. It's only a drop-off. I'm not sure that's what I want. So I might have to go with this here. Go like this. Oops. Yeah, that'll work conceptually. Yeah, because if you're coming down here now, you'll encounter that. Or I could even do this. No, that kind of looks worse. I'll stick with this, I think. Raise that up one. Yeah, because now you'll have enough momentum to be able to clear that jump pad, no problem. Plus, if you hit it from this side, you're going right up to where you need to be anyway, so... I think I'm worrying for nothing. Okay, so it's all about trying to clean this roof up here a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going for pure symmetry, obviously. You don't want that in a deathmatch map. But see how there's 2 blocks here, 3 here, 3 here. It looks a little bit off to me. But yet I can't bring it over because if I bring this over top the slope, it's going to truncate a slope. So... decisions. Okay. Make this some kind of weapons platform. See, I'm starting to get the idea of what I want here now. Yeah, that'll work. Take this and flip it. I might want to bring this down one more. Let's see. Okay, that'll work. Oops. Flip these out a tiny bit. Yeah, that'll work. Good. Actually kind of has a nice look to it. The 4 little window things here. me just see what we have for texture work here. See, this is what I mean by the UAC signs. So I'll probably keep this one bronze and then swap this over to silver. Give it a little bit more variation, you know? So I was to repeat it all 5 times here. Like this actually looks decent, I think, but at least if you're going this way, you're gonna get something new, so. Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. That's kind of why I was planning them out a little bit there, because I kind of just think they work, especially these 4 here. Now you probably wouldn't see that in a lobby of like some corporation somewhere. It'd be a little weird to have your logo 4 times in the same place, but I think it actually works here. Now it's just a matter of deciding what I want to do with this top floor. Because other than travel, like what reason is there to actually come up here, you know? Like I'm gonna have to put some kind of valuable, some kind up here. Probably right here. Except I'm going to have to make a separate 3D floor entirely, which is a little annoying, but whatever. This part always gets me caught up, is trying to type in numerically where I want the actual floor to be. It's a little hard to figure out sometimes. So I want this little nub to come out of the top, but I also want this flush with this, you know? So I'm going to have to take the floor, which is technically the ceiling, it's very confusing, and match it to the ceiling, which is this. This is the ceiling, this is the floor, so like I said, a little confusing. Then I'm going to take this and curve it. Yeah, drop a light down, whatever, no problem. Now this whole wall is bare here, so I'm going to figure something out. A teleport could work. Yeah, because if someone's hitting a teleport here, traveling east, they could theoretically come out here also traveling east and not lose their course, really. So, yeah, whatever. I'll give that a shot, actually. I'll see what happens. trying to put it up far enough so that if someone's coming from either the top or the bottom hallway, they'll be able to hit the teleporter at equal rates. Curve these inwards because I intend on putting the teleporter probably right here. Yeah, that'll work. We'll go with a full circle because why not? Yeah, that looks good actually. Surprisingly decent. Drop this down a little bit. Yeah, that'll work. Raise this a tiny bit. Then I'm going to knock 2 square areas here on for accent. Probably going to drop some kind of light in there or something. So I'll shrink that a little bit. Drop this down like that. Now I might flare this a tiny bit, just to give it a little extra detail. Yeah, that works. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. Drop some lights in here. I suppose I could raise these as some kind of weapon platform, but I don't know if that's going to be too cumbersome or not. Probably be better to actually dip these a little bit. 52 probably. Yeah, there we go. Trying to decide if these top cylindrical lights clash with that teleporter at all. Is that better or is that better? I'm trying to figure it out. Well, probably this, because I am going to put lights in those back cubbies. Then these hanging things are going to try to maybe get in the way visually. Yeah, I'll leave it like that. And here, I'm not going to add any more past because I'm trying to force a choke right here for power up of some kind. Yeah, this is kind of coming together now. I'm getting the idea of what I want now. Okay, so this whole area up here can probably be shrunk because we're not putting the teleport there now anymore, so it's kind of just superfluous if I don't do anything with it. But we're gonna go with a little bit of a weird floor pattern here. No, that's actually not what I want. This is probably what I want. And then we're gonna put a weapon right here, because that kind of sets us up nicely for it, at least. It's like a little platform. I don't know if that's too bulky. Let's see. That's probably better, actually. Okay. Not sure what I'm putting there yet, but it's going to be something of some kind of substantial. Oh, hi, the Fiery Wind. Thanks for coming by. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's pretty laid back here. I'm just trying to rattle off a map here in a couple hours or so. So far, so good, though. I actually got most of the layout I want going here now, so... A lot of what I need to do now is just decide if I want any more substantial paths or not, and then focus on dropping in some additional detail, because I've almost got things to where I want them now. So oh, you got bad ping? Yeah. I get bad ping actually too, because I'm all the way up here in northern Canada, so I kind of know that feel. Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, the whole point of this stream is I randomly select a texture pack from 40 different texture packs, and then I essentially have to make a map out of that texture pack. Because I'm coming up on like 400 maps I've made, so now I'm just trying to find ways to challenge myself, or do things differently, at least, you know, essentially. So I certainly don't want to do another 100 maps in OTEX. I do like OTEX, it's just I can't do the same thing over and over anymore. So this is the 5th episode texture pack, which obviously has crates in the wall, which you know you're not gonna see anything yet, but it's kind of like a corrupted base kind of idea. So I'll have to figure out exactly how I want to do that, though. I've got bounce pads, slopes, everything going on already. I might test this out in Zandrona real quick just to see if I like how things are moving. Actually, I'll throw down teleport real quick just to be on the safe side, so I don't have to do it later. Okay, 500, and turn this to 500. And then take that and flip it. Set this at 501. And then, oops. What do I used to do? Oh, there we go, okay. So set this to 501 now. 502 maybe? I always have trouble setting up teleports. I don't know what it is. I always find there's like 12 things I gotta do to set up a teleport, and it's a little annoying. There we go. Now it's working. Only thing left I need to do is drop destinations here. So yeah, that works. And probably come out east here so I keep momentum. Okay, so I probably got 90% of the layout done here now. The rest is just trying to drop a little more detail in. It's a little sparse right now. I've actually never made anything for PSX Doom or Psy Doom. I'm mostly a multiplayer guy, but not to say I wouldn't be open to it. I do single player as well. I do CTF. I do all kinds of stuff. So maybe one of these days I would. I know there's a lot of sector lighting, a lot of interesting effects that are in PSX Doom that aren't in the other ports. So that might be interesting to play with one of these days. Okay, this map's actually moving how I want it to, which is nice. Oh, I didn't even know Psy Doom had multiplayer. That's interesting. Well, I assume it would have some rudimentary type, but I know Odomex, Z-Damon, and Xandra are the main ones, but I know like stuff like GZ still has deathmatch capabilities and stuff. If there's some kind of tangible benefit to me working with Psy Doom over, say, UDMF, what I'm using right now, then I'll definitely do it in the future. D64 Revolution. Honestly, I think I'm working on that project right now, believe it or not. I'm actually in that Discord, I believe. I've made like 10 or 12 maps for that, I think. If it's the same project we're thinking of, the Deathmatch D64 pack, right? Yeah, because I've made probably a dozen or so maps for that. It's not fully released yet, though. We still have some work to do. Yeah, that's the, yeah, that's the team that's headed by P as in Pappy, isn't it? Because I was just talking to him earlier today, actually, about getting back to mapping for that. I've actually got a layout up in the air right now that's not quite finished yet, called Go Path, which is like a really rocky terrain kind of map. It's not the most D64 map out there, admittedly, but a lot of the stuff I've made so far hasn't really been too D64 looking, you know? Lots of sector lighting, all that good stuff, but I find D64 is a bit blocky, which nothing wrong with that, but the maps I made all tend to be a little curvy in comparison. But yeah, he just reached out to me again today after, like, we hadn't talked for a couple of weeks because he was very busy, but we were just talking today about getting some more stuff moving for that, so hopefully we can get something near a final state at some point. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's actually kind of cool that just happened today that he reached out again, so... Oh yeah, thanks Anthony. Yeah, I should be able to finish stuff up here, but I appreciate you stopping by like before. So, yeah, hopefully I can get this done tonight because I kind of have the idea I want now. So I should be able to move pretty quickly at this point if I can stay focused. I don't like this corner. I do not like this corner one bit. That's a bit better. Okay, I'm gonna put indentation here. Give it a little more detail. I don't want to just keep dropping these UAC signs though. Maybe I'll go with this. Yeah, that looks good actually. Okay, so it's time for me to just tear through here and get all my lighting done real quick. Drop that to 160. I tend to follow certain brightness values for different sections of the map. Like artificial light, I tend to keep it full bright. Like sunlight, I tend to keep around 192. And then shadows range from 144 to 160 usually. I don't like to go much darker than that in Deathmatch. So that kind of rubs some people the wrong way sometimes. It's better to have things fairly well lit, I find. Okay, so this shouldn't take me much time at all to get the lighting down at least. Okay, almost done. This room at least. Okay, this is looking better now. There we go. That'll work. Lighting on 3D floors is always kind of a pain, I find. Because for whatever reason, if you look closely here, I'm at 240 right now, but if I hit 256 full bright, or 248, it shines straight through that solid platform, which is really annoying. So you gotta kind of keep an eye on that, or you're gonna end up with weird little lighting errors. Okay, so far so good. Turn that to full bright. That to full bright. So I'm gonna put some kind of light right here. I don't know, some kind of light strip. Give me a reason to have these signs better displayed, I guess. Light these cubbies up because I'm going to be dropping lights in them at some point. Okay. Oh, no way. Alex, what's up? Yeah, I finally thought I would get around to getting some streaming going here for my Doom mapping. But no, it's good to see you for sure. Funny enough, this is actually my third level today already. I've been kind of on a mapping bender these last couple days here. But this is actually coming together pretty well, this one. Basically, the idea is that I set up some random spinner thing to choose from 40 different texture packs, and whatever I get stuck with, and I gotta make a map with it. So I kind of got, I ended up with 5th episode today, which is what it's called, but it's like a really limited set, I find. So I'm gonna have to find some way to figure something out here that'll work aesthetically at least. Yeah, I'm about an hour and a half into this one right now, and it usually takes me, I don't know, 3 hours, 15 minutes to 4 hours to get a map done typically at this point. But yeah, I had an earlier stream today that I'd actually planned out and scheduled, and then this one was just a complete brain fart. I just kind of randomly jumped into it. This map's fairly large. I'd say medium large. There's lots of conflicting paths, over, under, all kinds of stuff going on. I've made much larger than this, but it's pretty big for what's a deathmatch map typically. And I think I'm done my first pass on the lighting now, which is nice. Oh yeah, at some point I should try to replicate one of our old houses. That'd be hilarious. The classic salmon pink house. Yes, that's what I'd probably go with. So I think I've got the lighting figured out here, so I'm gonna do a quick run through. Oh yeah, manly salmon for sure. Not pink, never pink. I remember that when I was a little kid, I was saying that. That's funny. I haven't heard that for ages. But yeah, this whole streaming thing, it only just started like a day or two ago, and I just thought, like, I've got a cheap mic, why not, you know, just, I'm going to be mapping regardless, so why not film it, you know what I mean? But this seems to move pretty well here. In terms of momentum, which is ultimately the most important thing in this kind of map design. Being able to travel in one direction for as long as possible without hitting a wall, essentially. So, oh, it just popped up on you. That's funny. That's funny. I actually forgot you're subscribed. Yeah, no worries, no worries. I'll probably be doing this quite a few times. If you ever want to just pop on and chat, like, go right ahead. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. Okay, so what I'm going to need to do now, most likely, is I've got my lighting done, I've got my geometry mainly done. I just got to run through and put up, what do you call it, border textures, so I can start flood filling and getting this going at least. Probably use this. No, I don't like that seam in the middle. I mean, I could go with the red fade here, but that kind of limits me for the rest of my color matches. There's gotta be something I can use here. Maybe this? Or is that a bit too light? Yeah, that's too light. Dang it. Maybe I'll just go with one of the Doom2 flats here. That's better. Yeah, let's go with this. The decent border texture at least. Because what I typically do is I pop up all my border textures and then I sprint through the level, basically flood filling everything. That's how I get my texturing done fairly quickly usually. Okay, I'm kind of liking where this is going so far here. The level looks big, but when it comes to actually blocking things out, it shouldn't be too bad at all. Drop some more borders here. Yeah, it looks good. Part of the reason why I've embraced adding curves so much in my maps is that when it does come down to having to set border textures up, it's a complete cinch, because when I curve at 88 degrees on a 45 degree angle, I'm always left with a 16 width border, essentially. So that definitely saves me a lot of time, I find. Don't know if that makes sense or not. There we go. Add these here. We want to save this area here, though, this red area, for some kind of light strip. And I'm not entirely sure what color scheme I'm going for so far here. I'm probably going to have to go with something brown or gray plus red. That's probably, you know, what my options are in this pack. But could be interesting to see what I can figure out here. Because normally I hate doing the border texture part, because it's boring, honestly. It takes a little bit of time, and it's just time consuming. But I've nearly done it already here, so I'm actually going at a decent pace. I'd say another 5 minutes and I should be wrapped up with this part at least. And then I can start doing the actual aesthetic textures. I hate when the cardinal directions, like they cast a shadow on the texture. I'm not sure, I can't remember what that effect's called, but it's got something to do with the cardinal directions when you're working with a certain angle or something along those lines. I'll point it out next time I see it, but it does annoy me. Okay, so we're coming back into the main atrium here now. There we go. Oops. Okay, so some of this is easy, like obviously these are lights, so you drop a light texture, blah blah blah. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this dip, this deeper area here. I could fill it up with water or something, but I don't know if that's going to look right or not, so I'll have to feel it out as I go here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add another one here, another one here. See, this is what I mean by that cardinal direction thing. See how that this portion here is darker than the surrounding portion? It's got something to do with exact cardinal angles. I don't know what the effect's called, but it's, I don't know, I want to say fake contrast or something like that, but I don't know if that's the correct terminology or not. So don't quote me on that, but you can fix it in UDMF easily by just scrolling up, but in Boom or some of the other formats, you actually have to go in and geometrically move that exact cardinal angle forwards or back a little bit so that it breaks that fake contrast effect it's doing there. Which, I'm not going to lie, is kind of a pain because it's very easy to miss them. But in UDMF, you just select it and notch your lighting up too, and you're good. Which is nice. Or nicer, at least. Still annoying. Okay. Do a final fly around here. Just make sure I've got everything, or most of everything at least. Probably put one there, put one there. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that because I have to commit to putting the rest of it metal. I don't know if I want to do that, so. Okay. This wall is very barren, very boring, and I don't like it. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to make this pop a little bit more. And oftentimes, all you need to do is just drop a rectangle in, curve it, maybe drop some lights into that indent. You can usually get away with not having to detail something too technically, you know? Like if I take this, grab all corners here, and then curve them all at the same time, and then flip. Like that actually looks kind of nice. It looks sci-fi in my opinion. But of course, that creates these little borders here, so gotta jump in and fix those up. And I really wish there was more precision you could do on texturing 3D floors. That's another slight pet peeve of mine. Like, you can see here, but there's like probably a good 10 different segments. But you press once and it floods the whole thing. So it's probably a pipe dream that would ever be fixed the way I want it to be fixed. But I don't know. I find it limits you on what you can actually do aesthetically with 3D floors sometimes, in terms of texturing at least. But these border textures are done, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to notch something into this wall because it looks bare, just like the other one did. Oops. Maybe I'll place some kind of computer in here. This set's not the most versatile set out there, but I do know there's some computer stuff. Let's see here. I'm actually curious what we have in this set even. Because because the flats, there's like what, like 15 flats. That doesn't give me much options really. But there's quite a few texture edits here. Like any of these, well, these are 64s, I guess, but any of these 128s might actually pop into the wall nicely. I will have to see what works. See, some of these tech edits are actually kind of nice. Like this is 128 here, but see that I don't know, that looks a little awkward to me. Like as if you're missing half of what you're supposed to have there. Yeah, like I said, surprisingly limited texture pack, and I'm trying to avoid using as much of Doom 2 as I can, because what's the point of, you know, doing the challenge then if I'm just going to resort to stock textures, right? So I'm kind of trying to at least do something novel with what I have, right? But that is easier said than done to a certain extent here. I was thinking of going along the lines of corrupted base, because there is like these red pinky textures, these fleshy textures, but I just don't think there's enough there. I just don't think there's enough there to actually do much with, because these are all stock Doom 2 right here, these flesh ones. So I gotta try to figure out what I want to do here. I could probably go with this. This actually looks like kind of nice. That actually looks decent. Okay. So if I flare the brightness up there. Oh, there is just a comp red. Nice. Okay, maybe we have some options here actually. Yeah, I probably am going to have to resort to mixing textures, which I didn't want to focus too much on stock Doom 2, but that was kind of part of what I thought was going to happen here too, so release some of these packs. Some of the less versatile ones at least. Which, when I first looked at this in Slade a couple days ago for a different project, believe it or not, I was using the same pack. I just happened to get out of the 40 that I spun today, but I had thought there was a whole lot more going on in terms of variability in the textures, but it seems to mostly be Doom 2 edits, which is fine, but it's a bit limiting, I'm not gonna lie to you. Something like this could potentially work. Take that and put it here and here. So I guess I kind of am going with a red theme, because what else can I do really? I think the red will be the best accent against whatever else I'm placing, right? So this will come together pretty quickly, because like I said, now that I've gone through and done the annoying part of the border textures, Just a matter of dropping some flood fill now. I can probably move this over a bit. It looks terrible where it was. There we go, that's better. And I need some kind of light strip. Oh, okay, I guess I'm stuck with Doom 2 because nothing in flats will fit a 16 unit width. I'm not trying to sound like I'm complaining here. I'm just trying to think out loud on how I can... Oh, there is red lights I could use. Never mind. Pardon me. Jumping to conclusions too fast there. This should actually give some flare, I think. If I change this to the red lights, red diamond lights, that's actually kind of cool looking. I won't lie. Suppose I could do that. I guess this is going to end up looking more like a heck base in the sense that we're going to have red paired with whatever else. But I've done those before. I can probably get it to work. Actually, I'm trying to see what I can do with these lights up here. I wonder if I can... Nope, not that. Okay, maybe this. Nope. I don't know. Can I get away with this? Probably not. Okay. I might have to resort to putting some kind of neutral light up there and then sector lighting it to some kind of red variant. Because if I go with like... I could just, you know, do something kind of old school and throw up some lava or some fire blue even. But then what are we looking at? We're looking at more of a hell level, and the geometry in this map currently is much more suited for a tech base of some kind, or like I said, a heck base, you know, hell and tech. There's probably something I'm not thinking here. I wonder if I could use... You see how there's like residual red on the sides here? And some people might not notice that when they're running through this at 100 miles an hour, of course. But it's going to drive me nuts. I'll tell you that much. So I might have to resort to shaving off the sides of these lights here. See if that works actually. Could be a solution actually. Looks like it was. Okay. And thankfully these are the only size lights I have to deal with that are of this shape in this map so far. So thankfully things shouldn't be too painful for me going forwards here. Kind of like this. Wish this was just a little longer. I'm gonna bring that up a bit. That works. That looks better. And then here we'll go with the traditional ceiling 5.2. Probably one of the best textures in Doom 2 in my opinion. You can throw it on anything you want, and it'll typically work. I'm wondering if I should just forego these borders and just extend this metal bolt looking texture here. For some reason auto select is not letting me pick up the whole thing. There we go. That actually looks decent. I think we're on something here. So now I can continue this whole wall here with that. I'll probably go with this actually. There we go. That actually looks decent for the 3D floor. But that kind of traps me into having the texture to slope the same way. So yeah, those parallel lines aren't going to work on something like that. At least not for me. Maybe some beige bricks might get the job done. Flip this, there we go. I'm kind of feeling that. But maybe if I go here and I thought I had something better actually. Never mind. I thought this was actually darker than it was, but it's not. Maybe I'll just go with this. Probably the whole back. Why not? Fix that. See, I can't fix that because it's on the reverse. That is annoying. Now I'll try it. I flipped it. No, I still can't get that clear. Wow. Huh. Curious. So at least now that whole ramp is set up correctly. Come on, flip. That'll work. Whatever. And here to here, and then take possibly metal. Would that work? Ooh, we might have a good border here actually. Yeah, that'll work. So at least we're matched up to, or at least closely matched up to the ceiling flat there, so. So I guess we're kind of going brown and red, or brown and pink, I guess. Or brown with pink and then red accents to tie everything together. It's probably what I'm going to end up going with here. Oh yeah, see you later, Fiery Wind. Thanks for stopping by, appreciate it. And on that note, I am going to be right back. Give me like 30 seconds, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I am back. Let's get this wrapped up here. Okay, so I'm thinking I can probably just keep using this comp red to a certain extent. I don't want to abuse it, but I'm going to probably end up using it quite a bit. Because funny enough, comp blue tends to be one of the more versatile textures on the inverse. So I guess it makes sense that the red's actually kind of useful. Because that paired with that actually doesn't look horrific. So that's something I can work with at least. That looks good. Now I don't want to just plaster Seal 5 everywhere. Hoping I can find some kind of slightly detailed equivalent. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. The square one here. Yeah, it looks decent actually. Okay. And at least with this pattern, if by necessity I need to do some extra detailed work, I can always pull a couple tiles out of the ground if need be. So. This might be a bit too simple here for my liking. That might work actually. See, I'm just having a little bit of trouble trying not to make this just monotone in the sense that it's all brown with a little bit of red, you know? But it is trickier. Yeah, it's just tricky to try not to repeat yourself too much here. The same texture usage over and over and over and over. So I may be stuck having to drop some stock Doom 2 in. That could even be how this pack is supposed to be used, with Doom 2 in addition. I didn't see anything in the README, of course, though. So I guess I could drop some gray in here and see what happens. Do I like that repeating texture though? Maybe get away with that. We'll see. For one room, perhaps. Okay, so that's going around the entirety of that. That's not even wide enough, dang. See, I feel like I'm falling into a trap of repeating too much of the same thing here. But then again, I say that, but then once you start dropping items in with all their slightly different colors, and the yellows, and the browns, and the reds, and the blue, and everything else, it kind of pulls some of that monotone away a little bit. So I always look at my map, and I'm like, oh, this looks, you know, drab. But then once you populate it with your items, it doesn't always look that bad, I find. So that may be what I have to do here in a bit. We'll see. I don't think it looks too bad, actually. Some alterations may have to be done at some point, though. Okay, so we've got that going there, which means this side has to be that. That doesn't really match here. Just kind of turning into a bit of a fiasco here. Maybe if I go with beige on this side. Actually, I think it looks okay. I might stick with that. So it kind of visually ties with the sloped ramp here. I feel like this gray is slightly out of place. I feel like if I maybe drop this in. Oops. Yeah, but then it's all brown. You know, that's the problem. There's just a little bit more variance. Like, we got all of these, but as you can see, they're split up amongst the light, and the only one that uses the red lights is this orange and this green. I don't think that pairs with the red as well as it should, so I'm not trying to sound too much like I'm complaining here. I'm just trying to think out loud as I go along, which is what I typically do when I map anyway, so I ultimately end up talking to myself regardless, so it's all good. Maybe this? No, not that, because that's... Maybe this. Perhaps something that has both. Ah! Now that, I think, might have solved my issue. So I plaster it around the rest of the room and leave this area here as an accent. I might start seeing some of that variance I'm wanting to see, so... And that gives me an excuse to use CL5 here again because of the brown stripe, so that's very good news. Can't tell if that looks better or if that looks better. I don't like this seam here. I'll flip it. Yeah, we'll see. We'll stick with that. We'll see what happens. Now I could just be overthinking this because I could just populate a lot of this with just blood and add some much needed red here. I think I can probably get away with this. A bit of a blood flood aesthetic, I guess you could say. But just for this lower area, kind of makes sense, actually. But then if I'm getting too dedicated to the hellish aspect, like the blood and all that, I might have to go just full force with the whole hell textures. I'm not sure I want to do that yet because Like this map set's kind of an in-between, I find, which makes it a little tricky. No, texture set, sorry. Makes it a little tricky to use, I think. Without crunching on Doom 2 too much, and that's kind of not what I want to do, as I've said earlier, so... all of these here. Get that aligned with that. Okay. Take this and oops. I wish I'd just select this area here. Oh well. Okay. Now these are 3 perfectly blocked out 64 by 64 areas. So maybe this would look good? Nope. I put that in the wrong place. Here it does that. Okay, so that there, and then that makes me have to go with a similar texture on the underside. Which, yeah, I suppose that makes sense, what I just did there. Makes sense visually, at least. So I don't really consider these, they're kind of looking like crates, like metal crates, but I don't know. They much more look like some kind of metal plating you bolt to a wall than they do a crate. This texture, though, the gray, is quite versatile, I find. Dropping these red lights makes things pretty easy. Obviously I can't put on a curve there, so resorting to comp red actually makes sense. Comp red there, comp red here. I wonder if I can get away with that. Let's see. Oh, this could actually be kind of cool. We'll see. That's not going to work there, though. Warning sign stuff always looks nice, in my opinion. No matter what you put it on, you can get kind of a nice look going. Okay. I guess I have to. Well, I don't have to, but it will look decent, I think. Put this here. I think that's about the right height. And I'm going to come all the way back here and steal this bolted metal, because that makes a nice border. And then we're not going to take the squares, because there's too much squares in this area, so we're going to go with the classic ceiling flat again. that'll work. That will work indeed. Drop some lights in here. You know I'm going to put physical lights in there. Still makes sense. Actually, I'm almost done this already. I can't believe how fast this is going. So item placement doesn't take me too long because I already kind of know what I'm doing on that. Not quite like with the geometry where I'm thinking as I go. That actually looks pretty cool. That does not. What can I put there? You know, I might just go crazy. About time I get a little bit of blue going on. Take this and put these here, which might seem stupid at first, but I think they'll actually end up looking pretty good. I'm trying to decide if I should match the bottoms or not. Probably. Take this for a bottom border. Why is this at an angle? There we go. March forward with this. Oh, I guess not too far. Probably take that and border this here. Take that and border this. This should work. Take this border again. I actually really like this texture with the little bolts on it. Nice thing about UDMF is that you can actually separate top and bottom texture when you're aligning. When I first found that out, I was really glad about that. I've only started using UDMF since December or so. Yeah, trying to texture 3D floors is just not the greatest in my opinion. Not the best experience. I don't like the all or nothing approach where something has to be one color. Because you gotta try to balance everything else around it to actually fit that, you know? Probably can get away with some kind of bolted metal here because we're dealing with perfect 64 squares. That looks good. Okay. Then flush that. There we go. Yeah, it looks decent. Okay. Overthinking. Take this because I accented it there, and I'll accent it over here. Do I like that? See, it kind of makes you have to commit to going all the way down to this next floor if you're going to use that texture here. If I border this, I can hit it with this bolt texture, which might break things up a little better. Ah, that kind of looks terrible. What if I went with this? Ah, it's just ever so slightly too big. Okay. Painful. What about this? Okay, what about that? And then I border there. And what if I bordered here? And that would give me an excuse to not have to follow these parallel lines all the way down the wall. A little bit of green might help too. Break things up a tiny bit. Put this here, put that here. Oh, we're getting there. You know what? When in doubt, just flood the floor with blood. That'll work. Okay. Take these light strips. I actually kind of like this green. Although I don't like that line that I have currently. Is that better? No, it's not better. Could just go with some green brick real quick. It actually doesn't look too bad. Okay, I'm so close to getting this done here. So close. Guess that'll work there. Makes sense at least. Same with this. That means that goes there. Which in turn means that this also has to be over here. Logical, at least. Put that like that. I don't like that. If I do this here, I'll at least be able to separate. Even though I'm using the same colors, I'll be able to visually separate things at least. I guess I just go crazy here. There we go. Continue this over here. Get rid of that. Simplify, simplify. Might want something slightly different here, like warning signs. That works. Doesn't quite work the way I want to. This MIDI is driving me a little crazy. There we go. Yeah, that works. Good. And put that there. I guess we can. Yeah, that looks good too. Very nice. Go with a little bit of fire blue. When in doubt, always go with fire blue. Okay. That actually surprisingly works. No, it actually does work. Okay. I don't know why I'm overthinking that. Are we nearly finished here? Perhaps. Oh, missing this, okay. That works, and that can go here. But if that's here, then that has to go here. Okay. I got you. I got you. Use this as an excuse to place a weapon. That's what I'm missing. That looks kind of garbo. Gotta fix that a bit. Probably gonna go with bolt. There we go. And then bring that down a bit. There we go. It works. And then, because this is splitting up this, I'll put that here. And then to clean this up a little bit, I'll put that there. There we go. I think I'm nearly done with texturing, well, for the most part. Still trying to figure out if there's something better I can do with these bricks here. Probably something better I can do here. I don't like this beige brick paired with this metal here. I might have to like it though, because I don't know what other option I have currently. That looks a bit better. Come on, flip. There we go. I just want to do this, add some extra right here. There we go, that works.